Here we go.
We're here.
We're
How are
here.
we doing? This is Fridays with Bryan. It is now officially Fridays with Bryan. Now that we're at a second showing.
Deuce.
I knew we had to get here before I could actually call it that, or it would always just be Friday with Bryan. So
It was just a Friday.
it was
with
just a
Bryan,
Friday
and
hanging
now
out.
It's Fridays.
Now it's Fridays, and that's as many as we can do. So I'm here for that. It's also Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
I don't necessarily
I
have
don't know.
any.
We're gonna go.
We have anything over here?
We have some sound effects.
I don't have any like goose pimples about Friday the 13th or anything. I know that this 6 years ago was a very weird Friday as the world was shutting down. So we are now 6 years post-COVID shutdown in a live location for Everything Frederick that was a virtual space created during COVID that is now becoming a live space for people to bring their artisan bakery goods.
Yeah,
We
there's
have,
like
goth-
cookies and
What
scones.
what's the name of your bakery? The Goth Bakers Co. And
What do you got over there? Could you bring a couple things that we can show them on
Oh my
camera?
gosh, we're showing baked goods. Oh, this
She's in here
this is
restocking. We need to
awesome.
take
Yes.
advantage of this
Yes.
moment. She has stuff here.
The-
She can explain what it is, and
Oh
we can
my God.
record it right here.
Just bring it right into the middle here, right between us.
Yeah, what is that?
If
What
you
is
don't
that?
mind.
Hi.
Old school sourdough, just like
Ooh,
grandma,
sourdough.
great-grandma, thousands of years of history in here.
Yeah.
Bone ground
Stop
flour,
in and get.
organic, no pesticides.
Yummy.
There we
It's a
go.
fully fermented product. This is what we used to do to all grain. We ferment it before we eat it. Everything
Okay,
is
we're getting
fermented.
back to our roots
Yum.
here. This is what we're doing. Back to humanity. Back to the.
Energetic food.
This is
Energetic
energetic food.
Mm.
I like this.
I don't know if I can handle any more
I like
energy
old
today.
world. I like because we like the old world. We got to get neo old world back in our lives right now. There's a lot of other artisan crafts and things here, but it's just a place where I think we're trying to build a safe space for anyone to come and start to feel connected and just getting back and get close to each other.
Yeah, like we should play Kenny G in here, I think.
Yeah, I used to be able to do like a good saxophone.
I used to love. I played sax in college in a jazz band.
Nice.
Yeah.
I played. I played. I have a hard time telling people that I played the trumpet.
Why? That's so cool.
It's just
Toot
hard.
your own
it's hard to
horn,
say.
Brian.
I used to toot a horn. Let me just say that.
Toot your own horn, bro.
I used to toot a horn.
Toot.
It was one of my favorite things that I did. There's people
love
out here.
band.
My ADHD is going off. I'm
Yeah,
like,
this is like
I'm like, oh,
we're
there's
people
people.
watching, guys, while we're doing
but we are
this,
six
so.
years post COVID. This is a weird time. This is an interesting time.
6 years
There's a-
post COVID already?
Yeah, right now. This is
What?
the weekend because yeah.
Really? That
Yeah.
seems so crazy.
yeah,
And it's Friday the 13th.
and it's Friday the 13th. There's a lot of convergences that have happened in this time for me. So it's just a weird time to see the world. Is it International Women's Month? Right, we're celebrating
think so.
women. I think I like celebrate women all the time.
I was going to say, I always feel like it's Women's Month.
Yeah,
but
it's like it's always at least Women's Month once a month, right? No, I'm kidding.
I just love people, I think, though. Like, I celebrate people all the time. I'm always,
I do,
weird.
I do.
Like, if
I
I see
love-
somebody that just did their hair and you know that it looks good, like, why not be like, girl, you're slaying it today. Girl, you got it going on. Like, just give her a little love.
We
you know?
got to. We got to be
Yeah.
speaking to people. I love.
Mhm.
I saw some guy post the other day about how do you ever notice how women don't ever do anything for you? And I'm just like, haven't you realized that women have been carrying society along for like generations? Why are you not looking around and seeing what women have been doing every single day for us?
What else does he want us to do?
I don't know. It was wild.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
I hear stuff like that, and the first thing I think is, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What does he want? But my question would be, What are you missing? What do you feel like is missing for you? Like, what else do you really need? Like,
I don't know. I think there's an expectation that it's just supposed to happen. Like as men walk down the road, women are just supposed to be kind of tripping over themselves to take care of them.
Interesting.
I think,
But I think you're right. I think there is that expectation somehow.
Yeah. That's
The mama's boys too that are out there. There's a lot of those that either they want to stay at home with their mom still, or they're expecting a woman to come into their life and like mother them unconditionally without them being a man.
It's different. Like
Or showing up in
man.
another way.
You're right.
Not necessarily.
There's a convinced.
I'm just saying,
version
manning
of,
up too. Like, you know, like you need to man up. Like also, like show up, be there, be present,
right? But
work
like,
hard, be a part of the team.
Who's out there modeling what quote unquote man up means? You know,
Right.
so like there's, I've worked with the Coalition for a Healthier Frederick County, and something that we've been discussing is trying to break stigma around men's mental health and just the conversation. And I kind of jumped in with them because I'm trying to build that myself. I'm trying to build workshops to support community around me. And I think in a lot of ways, I think men need some support. And
I definitely agree with that.
I have some plans around building a workshop that kind of targets this demographic. But I lost myself there. But anyway,
That's okay. It's okay to lose yourself for a second.
I lose myself all the time.
Lose yourself in the moment. Get in the moment. Just be
Isn't that a
present.
song?
Be present.
Lose yourself.
You
It's
better
Eminem,
lose
right?
yourself in the moment. Yes. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to. Sorry.
6 years.
But anyways, really, you're saying COVID, 6 years.
Yeah. What are we doing?
What was COVID like for you? Were you scared during that time?
No.
I was not either.
I
I
was
was kind
not.
of annoyed, honestly, more than anything.
It was just every day. I just kept being me in the world, and it reminded me so much of my childhood. Like I lived in a conservative, poor household for most of my childhood, and it was basically like, we already know how to do this. Like I grew up the son of an immigrant, and I already knew how to. I knew how to. Well, I grew up splitting firewood by hand.
Right.
There's just a certain level of resilience and experience that I think that I had coming up to that moment where I was just like, we're gonna get through this, and we just can't lose our heads.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't want to lose my head.
But people lost their heads.
A couple people did. I don't know. But I just, that was the one thing. I was already in a place of growth when COVID hit. And I was just like, just be consistent, be consistent. That's the win. And that's something that I've been noticing, even being here in front of you all four of you who are watching. No, I'm just kidding. I know that the consistent patterns in life are what bring us forward. And I believe in what's going on at Everything Frederick and what the mission is around helping your community, reaching across the aisle to support community. And I think we need to find more ways to do that right in front of us right now to help push against the bigger things that are going on around us.
I love that. I mean, I do love just like the girl that was just here with the sourdough. I mean, that's so cool that you can come in here. You can buy not just bread. I mean, there's so many things. You have to come in and see it for yourself.
Some sweet treats.
There's so many nice little treats.
Sweet treats.
Little toys.
I like sweet treats.
Sweet treats. I love sweet treats too. But there's like clothes and all kinds of stuff in here. And about to be tattoo artists. It's crazy.
It's also, it's Friday the 13th. It's the
it's
Goth
Friday the
Bakers
13th.
Company,
Goth
I believe, or
Bakers.
Co. Yeah. So get in here, get some breads.
Get your bread on. Get your
open
carbohydrates
right
from
now.
right here. I did put the hours for the store in the description down in the bottom.
Oh, awesome.
And also links for the bakery and for all the other amazing vendors that you can buy stuff from here in the body of the video because I'm the bomb.com.
Awesome. Carolyn, tell us, is it Carolyn or Caroline?
Sweet Caroline.
Okay, I got it. I'll remember it from now on. I love those like mnemonic devices, and I always have trouble remembering what a mnemonic device is. So I use the movie Johnny Mnemonic to remember what mnemonic devices are.
Okay. Yeah, I do word tricks
device
like that too. I do. Like, I really do. I remember people's names by word association, or like another person that they kind of remind me of that had the same name or something. Like, that's how the only way I can remember stuff, it feels like.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah, I love it. Baldy Beardo. That's what some people call me. No, I'm kidding. I'm almost baldy.
So
just trying to run away.
So this week is Friday the 13th, and I feel like, you know, I've had a lot of spiritual growth over the last couple of years, and I've been trying to, I mean, not trying to, I literally don't want to like watch horror movies and watch like scary movies. And even this year, Halloween, I didn't want to trick or treat or get involved in any of that. And I'm feeling more sensitive spiritually to what I want to make my time and what I want to give my energy to. Right. And I feel really compelled to encourage other people, if they're feeling depressed, if they're feeling negative, to try to think about, like, what are you investing your time in? What are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself watching like movies and stuff on TV and listening to music that is spiritually trash, you know, like, or are you inspiring yourself and looking at stuff that's positive, or, you know, like we said earlier, going outside, getting some fresh air? Like, Friday the 13th, I understand there's some like, you know, whatever, but I feel like it's only because we as a society have made it something that is demonic. There's so many things that we could be, you know, feeding our energy into, and people choose to get, you know, watch scary movies and horror movies and watch people get killed and raped and murdered and stuff in movies, and then wonder why they have negative thoughts, wonder why they're feeling down and depressed. Like, look around you, look at the people you're surrounding yourself with. You are a combination of those people. If you're spending your time with those people, that is literally what you're making your time about and giving your soul to.
Absolutely. And the thing is like, most of those things that you're talking about that we see depicted in movies is actually being depicted in real life right now, all around us. And it exists, and we know it exists. It's been existing for hundreds and thousands of years. Atrocities that people have been doing to each other. And we know it's there, and I think there's a level of acceptance that we have to start to we understand it's here, and then what do we put the majority? It's like a fraction. If we've done fractions, like, the larger number has to be spent on the positive things. So we acknowledge, we understand there are hard things going on around us, but in order to grow the better things, you must spend more time on those things and dwelling on those things and dwelling on joy, dwelling in the positive things around you, dwelling in nature, getting your body is a nature computer. Like, you are an organism that was keyed to be paired with nature in any way possible. They say even looking at pictures of trees actually helps reduce stress. So there are lots of connections between, the Goth Baker Company or Co. and what she's talking about, getting back to like the very basics of the food that we eat, you know, and
breaking bread together.
Oh, that's huge. Being able to look across the aisle at someone, finding moments where you can share moments, looking and engaging with people, looking people in the eyes and proving to each other that you're safe and we're building a safe space in just the moment between the two of us. I had a really crazy moment last night downtown. I like to come downtown Frederick. There's a lot of art. There's a lot of fun connectivity. I was singing karaoke, and there were other people there.
Love singing karaoke.
And it's a good time, and you get to see people.
Better invite me next time.
I will. Okay. I'll bring you along. It's a good time.
I love singing karaoke.
My buddy Stephen Hill, he's been doing karaoke, DJ
DJ
downtown.
Spider.
Oh, DJ Spider, yeah.
He and I go way back.
Really? Oh,
What up,
that's
DJ
awesome.
Spider?
Oh my God, yeah.
I love you,
He's a good guy.
Steve.
He's been good to me and a good friend and a good place to like, feel connected downtown when you need to get out and
Talk about during COVID. That's when him and I would hang out all the time.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so anyway, we're downtown and there's this situation that happens where you have this place where people want to get out and express themselves, and then somebody enters the room that has nefarious kind of an approach to the world. It just doesn't work. And there was a woman there that was physically accosted. It wasn't it was exactly a physical accostion of her body. And this man would not back off, and she ran over and like sat down basically on my book. I have some books that I carry with me and on a journal, and she basically sat right next to my journal and my books and just knew like I would be coming back to that spot. And I was like, is everything okay? And she's like, no, I'm in danger. This person will not leave me alone. And I asked the guy to move along, and he actually didn't really want to separate even then. I didn't get physical or anything. I just was like, I just think you need to go. And eventually he was kind of escorted out. But the story was like, he actually put his hands in and like groped her several times before she was able to get away from whatever he was trying to do. And
I literally can't even tell you how many times that I've been groped on the dance floor. Had guys reach up my skirt on the dance floor. Just because you're dancing, they feel entitled to touch you or grab on you or anything. Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
There was
so disgusting.
This moment where like I felt like I was like watching a scene from like the Titanic where they were dancing and the it's just because she had a dress on, and you could see her loving herself and out. She was a single mom. She doesn't get out much. She's like, if I just stay home, I don't want to just stay home. I want to come out and sing and have fun. And I thought I could come out, and now I'm in this situation. And I watched the whole thing. I'm sitting there, and she's trying to dance and coax him into a very basic kind of ballroom kind of dancing you would do on a plain old dance floor.
Right.
And he's just pulling her towards him, and she's trying to just keep it dancey. And he thought and I told her, I was like, he thought you gave him a pass because you got this close to him, but how come we don't understand this boundary? Like, how come this guy doesn't have this boundary? And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, I have this boundary for her.
Right. I think that people are just like, so there was a study that I had heard the other day about COVID and how during COVID, pornography, like more people got addicted to pornography during COVID than any time obviously in the history of the world. And like one of the reasons that it's so crazy is because it just is normalizing like aggressive sex and like rape and like incestual activity. And you think about like also what other thing was going on during COVID, like the Game of Thrones show where it's like incestual sex happening in the show. And like, there's all this crazy stuff happening literally that we're just like, oh, we're normalizing it. We're normalizing it more and more and more. And like, and then we're wondering why all of these crazy things are trying to be normalized. Like people are just like, oh, I have the right to touch this person because I saw it in a show, or I saw this, or I watched that, or like,
or I voted for the president. Like, I had an argument the other day, and somebody was just like, we have to watch all of the Epstein files. We have to watch every little bit of it. We have to know what's going on. And I'm like, this is real life Game of Thrones. Like, you understand, like, we are in a real, like you're saying, like you watch Game of Thrones. This is just real life. Like people are just.
But don't you think that all of that stuff is out there to make it more normalized? Don't you think that's
I think we have normalized it as a society for generations and generations. And it is a cabal of humanity who it has been existing to control people and control the allowance of this stuff. And now the more that the veils are being pulled and ripped away, like it's not new. None of this is new. Like
And now
George R.R.
there's-
Martin didn't create incest.
Right. No, I understand
Yeah.
that. I'm just
No,
saying
yeah.
that right now there's people that have been watching that show that probably have never watched shows like that. And it was something that people like literally just like openly watched. It's like porn that was just right there on an app on your TV right there. Like everybody's watching it. Number one show on whatever, click here. And everybody's watching this. And it's, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of that stuff, a lot more of that stuff accessible than ever before. And then we wonder why we have more
I think people,
rapes and sex crimes and all this kind of stuff going on and child trafficking. And I mean,
I think we live in a really repressive society, and I think expression is trying to find its way to burst out at any seams necessary. And so when you pull back on a society from their humanity for so long, for generations and generations, and you become these non-human humans, then all of this stuff starts kind of bursting out kind of like a pressure cooker. So we're like in a societal pressure cooker of repression of our actual humanity and our connection to each other, our like a real healthy connection to each other. So there isn't a lot of good male modeling happening for generations on connectability to the society. It's like you're going to go do things, you're in charge, we're always going to let you be in charge. And then women are underneath it holding it all together going, all right, we got to patch this back together. Okay, we have to create a group of people that protect battered women. Okay, let's do that. And then we have to create the food shelters because of this. Then we have to, and then you start to look around and like we were talking about bartenders and being in bars, like think about bartenders for generations have been like this societal glue for men who come and sit down and just need someone to talk to them. I've watched and met female bartenders who I believe are the majority. Probably, if I ask ChatGPT, like who's the majority, it's probably more females. But I'm just saying that I've watched them care for people like social workers.
oh yeah,
And,
definitely.
and not to get them drunk, not to make money, not to
And
get bigger
servers
tips.
too that have like regulars,
Servers who have regulars.
Same thing.
Who have the people
Come
who,
in, check on their kids, talk about their grandkids, ask
Right.
them about whatever. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Like-
they know everything about them.
Like we're holding, like these people hold society together in moments where everyone is thinking like everything's shut down. It's after 10 p.m. Like, and there are people out here just giving themselves to support people around them with just a smile and recognition. I remember your name. And, like I have this whole idea for rehumanizing the world. And one of them is just remembering a new person's name every day. Just if you can meet someone and get their name, you don't have to get their number. You don't always have to, it doesn't have to be everything for all at once. Just, hey, I see you. What's your name? And then remember it. And then, just like 2 Fridays becomes Fridays with Bryan, you guys now going to get to remember my name after more than once, So like you meet somebody, you put that in your pocket, and then when you remember them, it gives them a dopamine hit when you go, hey, Jim, hey, so-and-so, and just keep walking and be like, hey, I remember that person. Or like, I always hear men complain about how they can't compliment women anymore. I can't do anything. It's automatically going to mean I'm a rapist. And I'm just like, nah.
That's not true.
Being a rapist makes you a rapist.
Yeah,
like,
that's so not true.
But like, say hi.
Yeah,
get her name.
Smile.
And then think, I'll see her again sometime. It doesn't always have to be like, I need your name. I need everything. I need all of it now, all of it right now, all of it right now. And when you do that, do you understand the level of repellent triggering when it feels like you're going to swallow somebody up in one moment? And like, I'm
that the ick factor.
Right,
Get the
right,
ick right away.
I mean, there are moments where like those moments happen where you're just like, I'm going to swallow you up. And she's like, oh, we're good. Let's go.
Right. Like that happens too, definitely.
Yeah. This is real stuff that happens out here. But But I'm just saying, like every day, like you can just build momentum towards, hey, I said hi. I remembered your name. Thanks. I feel safe that you remembered me, that I'm seen, those kind of things.
In continuance to like what you were talking about with the, incident with the lady last night.
Yeah.
I, I feel like it's so powerful hearing you say that you didn't just leave it at that and watch that happen. You know what I mean? Like you were there for her, supported her. And then also I've been in situations like that. And then as a single person or whatever, you end up having to walk to your car by yourself, or
Right.
there was, you don't really feel safe. And like, it's nice to feel safe around somebody, even if it's a stranger. So, I do think that it's so hard to find that basic safe space anymore sometimes, but it's not impossible. And there are people out there, and there are, things in place like we were talking about with the bartenders. The angel, I think they call it the angel drink is what we were looking up earlier, the angel shot. Like if you feel like you're in a woman and you're in a bar and you're uncomfortable and some guy won't leave you alone, you can go up to the bartender and say, I need an angel shot. And then they'll, figure out a way to get you away from that person or get you a cab or help you get to your car or whatever. They'll know that you feel uncomfortable and they'll help you without making it weird. So I don't know why as women, we're not comfortable just saying to someone, get the F off of me for some reason. Like I have no problem telling somebody to back off. I have no problem. Like I will literally tase someone within 3 seconds if they don't hear me the first time.
Yeah,
I'll say it louder for the people in the back.
I think that needs to be more
what are we scared of? Like, protecting ourselves. Like people that have no boundaries like that, they're not going to have a boundary about that. They're not going to have a boundary about the next thing. The more comfortable you make them feel, they're just going to keep pushing. There's a reason why certain women are attacked and targeted because they're timid, they're shy. I'm telling you, you're literally a lot less likely to get attacked if you are a little bit more like self-assured person. I know statistically that's like unfortunate, but that's the truth. Like women are targeted.
We have to start to build rooms where we can help build each other into those people, because like it's not something that many people can make happen on their own. People, I think one thing, like we are going to therapy. People are going to therapy. We're sitting down, we're talking through these things, but there's a step where like when we get back out into our world, we have to be practicing new steps, new things, new habits have to take place, changes. If you want to change, you have to change something. Like we can't expect change if we don't start to change something. And so
like Gandhi says, if you must be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right. And so like if you want to build safe places, you have to start building safety within yourself.
Oh, I love that.
A lot of times the safety that you can build it with yourself, you build it with others in safe rooms and safe spaces. It's a relational thing. A lot of our healing is relational. Because a lot of our fracture that happened it was a relational fracture. And so we have to believe, yes, we have personal work to do and personal things to spend time, figuring out for ourselves, but we also have to be spending time in community and in safe communities. And the only way to do that is to be seeing each other and remembering each other and then showing up for each other. And that's another piece. And like witnessing the world around me. I have a friend of mine who she saw like an emergency situation happening recently that was, outside of her window. It's a good friend of mine who has one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen in the world. And she's like, I hope everything's okay with this person. She finds out the person passed away that was going through this emergency, situation. And she's just like, I felt it so much. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's because you're doing all the right things, because you see people and you wish the best on them, and you were close enough to witness that person in this moment. And that's what we all need. We don't need everybody to fix it for us. We need to be witnessed. We need to be standing next to each other when people are having hard times and be like, hey, you know what? We're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to get there. And I'm here to hear that and be able to slow down for that.
Yeah, and I mean, being supportive doesn't mean being intrusive. And I think that's another thing that people, you know, if you've grown up without somebody to mimic these healthy behaviors, it's hard to know how to express yourself, even if you want to. I know that, it seems hard, especially if you've never been involved in groups or therapy or any of this. It's hard to really be authentic, but it takes practice just like anything else. Like, it really does take application and like going to like the group you're going to create for men. I mean, if men show up for themselves and come to this group, they're going to grow and they're going to become a better father, a better partner, a better part of the community, but more importantly, a better version of themselves.
For themselves.
Yes.
Like,
and like all of the other things happen because you've become invested in yourself. That is where the self-actualization can happen. And then you have so much to overflow and to feed other people in your life with positive energy. And,
right.
and that's where we need to like start, instead of trying to fix everyone else and trying to seek validation from the things we're doing for other people and how they respond to what we're doing, which is exhausting and draining. And you're never going to be validated ever. You'll never be good enough for everybody, ever.
No, and
but
you'll be
if as
exhausted.
soon as you can just start investing in yourself, first of all, the real ones will show up in your life. Like the real people that you really need, love, and deserve in your life will be there. They will be present.
They will.
And it will weed out the ones that don't belong.
It's hard. It's hard to buy into that until you start practicing it, and
it's so true.
It takes many steps and many failures and many bigger steps and then littler failures, and you get there. You have to accept all of those at the same time. So it's like a lot of acceptance and a lot of grief. A lot of grief that you didn't get it right. A lot of acceptance that you can get it right or you can try again, and that you have to look back and see the little moments where you have won.
And recognizing failures as success too. Like, honestly, just trying to do something, like even if nobody ever watches this show and we tried doing this is more than most people will ever do to try to make an effort to make a podcast. But they are comfortable sitting and talking bad about somebody else doing something, but not... You know what I mean? Like, I don't need people I feel good sitting here learning. I told you said earlier, I want to change people's lives with this. I want to touch people with this. I'm like, you've already inspired me.
Oh,
so even if that's all that happened, literally, like, even if you just inspired me to keep pushing a little bit harder, to stay locked in on the things I believe in myself, right?
Yeah, like this.
That's all it takes is one person to light a fire to start like a huge revolution of people being inspired. So don't feel like it's too small. Even something small can become big. Like,
right.
I feel like there might be a tornado going on. Look at that trash can out there.
Oh, it's moving up by itself.
It's a little windy
It looks like R2D2 going through the parking lot. Like it was
like, where
trying
did
to
this
help
trash
this
can
lady.
come from?
It was an escape trash can. It
just
literally
chased her
came to
down.
life.
That was crazy.
Like
The wind like opened the door at the same
sci-fi
time.
movie.
Well, it is a little windy.
The
and
trash
weird
cans
out.
are coming to life.
So there's been, tornadoes, random tornadoes around the world. We were talking about natural resources earlier and like how I feel like we're just so unaware. Like most people are just so unaware of the consumption, their actual, carbon footprint and what that even really means and the things they're consuming and how it all adds up and like what other options are. Like there's so many options that are more eco-friendly that people are just like, oh, but I'm saying that as I'm driving a 6.2 Chevy pickup truck. You know what I mean? So who am I to speak on it? I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but I'm aware and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck are we doing? What are we doing?
We have to start to figure out and piece this apart because it's a good indicator. Like I appreciate you calling in the juxtaposition of the vehicle that you drive and our attempt to try to also survive, get to where we need to be, live according to an economy, according to how much we're making, and like you have to make the choices that you're making to get to point A to point B right now. So.
I need a pickup to be able to accommodate my lifestyle right now because I, carry a lot of equipment. I have a lot of gear. I have a lot of hunting gear. I have a lot of like things that I tote around. So I did have an SUV and I would put dead deer in the back of it. And it was just not, it didn't make sense. So
My point was
But
just that we
I'm
used to
aware
be
of it, though.
hunter gatherers,
Uh-huh.
and like I know you like nature, and you like to talk. You talk about hunting and fishing and all of
Mhm.
those things, and like we used to be those people, and now we are people who pull up to grocery stores and just pop our trunks. So like we're in. You're talking about resources, but we're working towards being less resourceful.
So true.
And so then we're unhealthy, but we're not willing to be hunter gatherers even to walk down the grocery aisles. And I know because we're so busy, and I get it, and I know that's a real thing. I know that being busy makes us feel like we're purposeful, and a lot of times being busy is actually working against us.
Yeah.
And that we actually should be taking the time to walk through the aisles, because then we wonder why we're so lonely and nobody's meeting each other. It's because
No human
you're waiting to
interaction.
have a human interaction with the person that puts the groceries in your trunk and you drive off.
Right.
Like we're like automated into this Wall-E Matrix lifestyle where we're not actually doing things and then complaining why our legs hurt. You know, like you're like I
so true.
I talk about this often when I do stand-up about working in a grocery store. So I work as a retail manager. I'm a systems manager, and so that's how I keep myself kind of and always developing, because I'm a systems manager. So this system of grocery store that I've been in for years since I was a kid, I've been watching society through this because I have these neurodivergent eyes that are, hyper whatever, and I'm seeing society, seeing the data, and one of the craziest things to watch is a society of diabetics who buy so much soda and then buy Ozempic, and then I know I'm drawing a really straight line to one product, and I'm not trying to tell anybody there's no reason
not
not
just
to
one thing.
yeah, like, don't at me kind of thing. But, I'm guessing if anybody watches this, there might be a comment. But what I'm saying is it's like we are causing our own poisoning.
Right. They're
And
not
then
changing their habits.
Trying to call, like, I watch people who want to get healthy and bake, and they love baking, and they just use white sugar all the time in their baking. And then, you're like, how come I can't change I'm like, you have white sugar in your house that you're using on purpose. Like, all the white sugar I just drink by accident. No, I'm just.
I mean, but we're consuming so many like preservatives too, and like plastics and like stuff that we don't even realize we're consuming. Microplastics are so bad. They're everywhere. It's in everything we're eating. It's in our laundry detergent. It's in our everything that's in our life. It's insane.
It's in our balls.
It's in our,
And the men. And I mean,
it's in your balls.
The science is out.
But I mean, to that point, I do feel like one thing I wanted to talk about that I went through this week, I was telling you earlier, I went to this inspiring event down in Bethesda, and it was at the Roundhouse Theater. I don't know if you've ever been to the Roundhouse Theater. Well, it was a really cool experience. You would love it. And it was called Brave X, and it was brought to the theater. This is the 10th year in a row that they've hosted it. So they had like 8 speakers, all of which were associated with the Special Olympics of Maryland. So it was all these disabled, autistic, or, physically disabled, mentally disabled, different people that came in and talked about how the Special Olympics has helped them, or just spoke about whatever. The one girl got up there and she just said, positive energy, productivity. And I nearly cried because she could barely even get up on the stage. And this lady was so inspired, and she has her own podcast. And these people are doing insane stuff that most people would never have the courage to do with fully capable bodies and like minds. You know what I mean? And so I was there, invited to attend by the guy that illustrated my book that we just published last year. I brought a copy to show you guys. It's so cute. he is so talented. It's called Carolina's Wild Adventures. It's on Amazon. And he drew every single picture in this book. You know, the story is basically to get kids outside and get off their iPads and go out and explore and get into the woods. And it teaches them about things they can look forward to. It also has a glossary in the back so they can learn some different stuff and scan this and like go on and find out where they can learn about hunting locally. But, you know, the idea isn't necessarily that I want to like inspire kids to go hunting. It's just to get them curious and get outside and
Feeling the
start getting
world.
nature and
Feeling
getting
it.
yes, like
Touching
go
it.
outside, get out and adventure.
Yep.
Yes. So I hope to inspire kids into that, and I hope that this book like brings people, you know, maybe a little bit of a different level of respect for gifted people too that are special needs. Like, you know, this kid is autistic and he's 25 and he needs a career. So I'm hoping that this gives him a chance to spark a career, get noticed. Maybe we're doing our second book right now. But Luke, dude, you're the best. If you see this, I hope that you listen and you know that I love you. You're such an amazing guy and you're so inspiring for so many people. Think about the kids out there that are autistic that get to see you and these other people I saw the other day. Killing it, doing something awesome, you know, that's so inspiring. And it was my emotional cup was overflowing. I was just like crying and I was a hot mess sitting there with Luke's mom. We both kept crying. Luckily she had tissues in her mom purse. I was like, oh, thank God for your tissues. Cause I needed that so bad. It was so beautiful. It was I was so blessed to be there. Honestly, it was just such a beautiful thing. So I encourage people to go and do stuff like that. Like, there's so much stuff going on around us all the time that you can just get out.
A buddy of mine is going to be on here at one point. His name's Corey, and he's the ground maintenance guy at Thorpewood up in the mountain from here. And Thorpewood does some cool nature talks down at RAK Brewing here in Frederick. And but they are like a nature preserve where kids go and fish and get out in nature. They have nature walks. They have grief counseling and a lot of other programs up at Thorpewood. But Corey has had kind of a good experience, like just being out in nature. He used to work in science, just like I used to work in the sciences, and he is one of the first seeds that kind of led to me even having a chance to be here at this little podcast thing.
This little moment in time.
Right. Because he kind of asked me to start to hang out with him and talk through life with him. And we would sit down and he kind of helped spark this idea that maybe we all need a little bit of a talk. Oh, look at this guy.
There's a fly.
Yeah, he needs a little bit of a talk right here.
It's spring.
Yeah.
They're coming back to life like zombies. It's alive.
That we all need a place where we can be safe and be able to express the things that we need to talk about, because maybe the world hasn't given us that opportunity. And that is kind of it. Like, I think I use the idea, like the concept of a pressure cooker. Like, if you're not expressing, if you don't have, there's Jessica Fitzwater.
Hey, Jessica Fitzwater.
Get out of here, man. Bro,
this is only got 2 microphones. Get the heck out of here,
I know.
mister.
He wants to talk.
He's got something to say.
So yeah, anyway, he's up at Thorpewood and they're doing great things up there, but it was kind of him bringing me into his world. He brought me into work with him at a job at one point, and it just kind of led to me being connected downtown a little deeper. I work at Miss Caitlin's School of Blacksmithing, and
no way. That's
and
so cool.
She's at John C. Campbell School right now, teaching. But she teaches basically like how to re-engage your epigenetics, how to get the DNA power from your ancestors out of you by hitting hot metal. And I don't want to go into too deep of her philosophy about how she uses this to really help people engage with themselves and get out. So I would check her out, and just I think that that's something that we need to all be kind of trying to figure out is like how do we re-engage ourselves into human action and human behaviors if we're not doing it? How do we take the earbuds out and hear people and hear the world around us and hear the birds? They talk about that, like, you know, people are so busy, they go out and take their dog for a walk, but they're still, you know, on a business call, you know, so you're kind of defeating some of the natural
Yeah.
release
You're not
and
really
stress
getting a
release
break.
of being out and actually seeing the trees. They say the fractal patterns of the branches of trees act as a natural stress reliever because our primal selves grew up amongst all of this. And that when you're exposed to that, it is a level of peace and familiarity that comes over you. And I can look up where I've found that and heard that, but it is just kind of a deeper look into why we are connected to nature around us.
I love plants and like have always had a huge affinity for houseplants. And I think that might be why, because I feel like I just feel healthier around them. Feel healthier when I have houseplants everywhere. I have so many. I have like insane amount of plants in my house. It's crazy. But I love it. I feel like I'm in nature a little bit. It's
Sounds
my own
like
way.
Jumanji.
Yeah, it kind of
you
is
live
like
in
Jumanji. It's a little out of control right now. I actually have some plans to do some,
I kind of like that idea.
adjusting some stuff a little bit. But yeah, I totally cannot get enough of nature. I feel like I said in the last episode, I literally make a point to not bring my phone with me when I go on a walk. And I have my watch so that I can, you know, if in an emergency I could call 911 or something, but I intentionally put it on exercise mode and go for a walk and don't listen to music, don't do anything, so that I can get that moment to listen to the birds, listen to the cadence of my footsteps, listen to my dogs, give my dogs some attention and have a moment in wilderness. And then when I get to the end of the trail, I sit there and I take a moment every time and just pray. I pray and pray gratitude. I pray for my, you know, people that I'm thinking of in my life. Give a moment just to like take a quiet breath and do like 4 deep breaths in, hold it for a few seconds, 4 deep breaths out. Like, you know, it's a really powerful thing to like control your breathing. Think about being the space you have is enough. What you have is enough. You're alive. You are a miracle. Your existence is a miracle.
Gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude for what you have starts to deprogram the scarcity mindset that we were all programmed with. Or most of us are programmed with this scarcity mindset of there's always more to get. There's always more to get. There's always more to need. There's always more to want. It's not, that's not real. I mean, that's not really what we're here for. We're not here to get more and get more and get more. We're here to be well and to give to others around us and to share joy and to enjoy being human. Like,
yeah.
And I think those are the places where we have to start to shift our thinking. You know, when we're so busy and we're checking things off of our lists and we're making endless lists and we're doing and we're productive and you're not, are you getting joy? I mean, you can schedule joy, but are you really enjoying it? Are you being still? Are you having timelessness? You know, that's something where you have joy that has no time wrapped up in how fast you need to experience it. And it happens when you listen to music, when you have, you know, intimate moments are like that or can be like that. And there are a lot of other things, awe in nature. It provides you moments of timelessness where you can disconnect from the America lifestyle of go, 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 go.
Yeah. And I feel, you know, I think that in these kind of environments, given where I grew up, okay, I grew up on an island where I had to take a ferry boat to go to school because there wasn't even a school on the island. It was so I mean, it was just completely separated from reality, really. But I loved it. And it was a beautiful, natural way to grow up. Here, people spend hours commuting every day, literally just hours sitting in their car, being angry about traffic or sitting in traffic and being angry. And then you know, like their whole life is literally just a hamster wheel of trying to make enough money to pay for the things that they think they need to have to, you know, compete with the other people that they have in their life. And I'm sorry, but I want off of that. I'm literally looking at buying a camper and buying some land and going and like buying some chickens and having a little micro farm. And I'm seriously considering totally changing my lifestyle. I don't think that it is at all great. I think that it's a fantastic way to live the rest of my life and to build
Yeah.
something with my hands and have chickens producing me eggs and my own greenhouse of tomatoes that I know are not full of pesticides and packed with different hormones. And I know where all of my food could be sourced from. I could start canning. Anyways, I could go on and on about that, but I would encourage anyone, if you're curious, you want to go on the internet and go down a rabbit hole, start learning about how you can start sustaining yourself. Even in the city, if you have a townhouse, you can grow your own vegetables in your backyard. You can learn how to do a lot of stuff and make your own bread, like you were saying. You can make bread that is healthy. I have a bread maker at home. I don't use white sugar. I make my own bread. I make rye breads. I make whole wheat breads. I make things that are healthy for me and my kids. And I try very hard to get them to eat this stuff, but they don't eat a lot of it. They won't do it because they've been conditioned. It's normalized to eat Takis instead.
Yeah.
And it's right in front
just-
of them at school. It's right in front of them everywhere they go. It's just
There's
junk
a-
everywhere.
There's a huge jump between how to sustain yourself in a society that has made it like they don't want you to be able to sustain yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
and so it becomes kind of scary to jump out of that because where's the safety nets? And then, you start to trigger people. And so when we're triggered into our survival, we start to behave in ways that are a hoarding type mentality. And so you have to kind of do it in a dose, because if you let go of it all, it's super triggering to your nervous system. And so you're talking about that, and I believe in that. I believe in getting back to slower life and trying to find a way to, balance the hybrid life of, we're using all this technology to record this, this famous, this awesome, like newfangled stuff, but like we got to still get back to touching the world and feeling the world and seeing how things grow and how life really happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people are completely detached from even the people that are in their own life too. Like literally you can live right next to someone right now and be complete strangers because of technology, because we've become so used to texting one another, and we've become so used to oh, did you see what I did yesterday? Well, I posted about it. Well, why didn't you tell me about it? You could have
Right.
just talked to me, and I
Right.
was sitting right next to you. Like, oh, why didn't you like my post? Well, I'm right here. Just tell me about your life. Why does it have to be about that? I've been in relationships where the person is literally mad at me because I didn't like their post or I didn't whatever. And I'm like, do you realize that my business is all about social media? And for me, that feels like work. I like to be detached from my work a little bit. I don't want to have to live on social media. I want that to be the only thing that validates my existence.
So you're posting for your clients all day long on social media,
Yes,
and then you
all
get
I
off and you're
do.
like, so why didn't you get on social media?
Right. I get a moment off from work. That would be like being a chef and then coming home and expecting your spouse that's a chef to like be excited to get right in the kitchen and start making you a really fancy meal for dinner. Like, okay, maybe once in a while, but like, come on. Like,
But that's the funny thing is what's happening. So like think about people who don't work in social media, but they're working engaged in their world all day long at press, you're at like a breakneck speed doing whatever you're doing. Let's just
it's
to
part of your
say-
job or something.
Let's just say
to be
managing about 30 very small humans that are very needy between the ages of 4 and 6 years old.
Yeah.
So like think about teachers. Think about when like teachers are managing these little mini worlds all day long, bouncing it, and they get home and then they're just like, I gotta check out because like I'm exhausted, and then we're expecting them to take care of their families and be present for their families. And what happens is a little bit of social media, opium. The opium of social media. Everybody talks about how like religion is the opium of the masses, right? But like social media and our screens are like the opium of the masses right now. Like we're so like zoned out. Like we need a social media Narcan. You know, a social media a Narcan / detox. We have, like, you walk by and you just like spray it on people who won't look away from their phones or take off their Apple Watch.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that it's going to happen. I think it's going to just get more and more digital. I think everything is, and because we've created generations of younger people that are,
I said I'm fighting it.
I know I want to. That's why I'm bringing this
people
book.
with
I mean,
me
that's what I'm doing. But
yeah, it is.
I'm just being honest that I do think it's going to be the thing that really does Wall-E our world. Like literally, we're gonna end up being Wall-E-fied.
I mean, we're Wall-E-fied.
If you haven't watched Wall-E, this is your cue to go pause this, go watch Wall-E, come back. Okay, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, but I think we can do it.
Crazy.
I mentioned a friend of mine who has this huge heart. I see her bringing society. She works in like social work for, you know, children, disadvantaged children in her area, in her region. I was talking to another social worker recently who works in Westminster area. She shops in my store, and she gave me this beautiful, just like, this is what I do in my world. And I just said, you are literally pulling people along, like, you know how like boats have like the tie on, like she's got people, she is just pulling humanity she is a tugboat, and she's just like, I'm a social worker. I show up to these people and I'm just like, you get in my car, I'm taking you to your job. You got a new job, I'm getting you a new outfit. Put this on. And she's just like, and that is the kind of love that
really
we need to
cool.
be giving to people every day. Like, we cannot wait for the social workers to do it anymore.
Yeah.
We can't wait for the therapists to do it anymore. We have to break down these long, antiquated tropes of society and start living and loving outside of the boxes that the world has put us all in, to try and make sure we don't break free and change the stuff that's going on.
Well, on that note, I mean, I feel like society right now needs more people to just be comfortable being, like we're saying, who they are is enough, and just focusing on, you know, self-care. Your time is valuable. What are you spending it on? You know, if you take anything away from this episode, I hope it is that you need to take 20 minutes a day to just unplug and take a moment to just let your mind relax. And whether it's going for a walk or sitting by the beach or whatever you have access to that brings you peace, just find that space and
love on yourself
prioritize
a little bit, you know?
that.
There's always reasons for that.
Yeah. Just do something for yourself every day. Like, you have to. It's your, and you know, they've proven that stress is literally killing us. Stress is the number one killer.
Stress and loneliness are killing us.
Yeah.
That is real. And I'm not telling people to not be lonely and put themselves around dangerous things, to not be lonely. Don't make dangerous decisions. I'm just saying, I think we all need to start figuring out, how do we build safer spaces so that people can be themselves, be authentic, and feel safe in those spaces.
Well, what do you propose that we leave people with today? Do you have any other topics you want to cover before we get off of here?
I wrote safe spaces. I talked about that. Five goes west. It was Dom DeLuise.
I put the screenshot in there.
I saw
if you
that
watched
on the
it.
last
It was Dom
one.
DeLuise. I put
It's
that
Dom
in there.
DeLuise.
Yeah, I put a screenshot and a screen recording.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
have a buddy of mine his dad used to call me Dom DeLuise. He's like, you're like Dom.
That is
DeLuise.
kind of what you like, especially like your energy is big like that too. So
big, burly, silly man with a beard.
I will say that it is fun being here. It's really enjoying just the space to like be real, be authentic. I think that more people should try to find themselves, you know, worry a little bit more about yourself, be a little bit more selfish. That's okay. I don't, especially as moms, you know, I feel like the last 20 years of my life have been, whenever I did anything that was dope for me, it was selfish. Whenever I did anything that wasn't about my kids, it was selfish. And when is it going to be enough for you, Caroline? And when is this going to be enough for you? And not everybody is the same. Like, for me, I don't think anything will ever be enough. I just have this desire inside of me to keep pushing and striving for more. And I need to calm that that voice that's like, what are you going to do next? How are you going to, build something, do something? Just take that time to like be enough. Like
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
really
Be,
working on right now. I
yeah,
have to do it for myself. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, if I can start finding more peace in myself with the way my crazy mind works, it's possible for anybody. I promise you, it really is. Find that calm. And Bryan is trying to help us, work on that. So thanks, Bryan.
yeah. The
Thanks for
more,
bringing us on here.
yeah, I want to break it. I'm gonna break it all down more and more in little bits and pieces, and try to help people just start to see there are little tiny things that if you start to do them, have some gratitude each day, show up for yourself every day, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go be productive. Show up for you if you need to rest. Tell yourself, I'm good, I'm resting, I'm a being, I'm like alive, and I require recharge and rest. These are real things that you have to start to give yourself without shame. And those are the moments where you start to find your power, and you'll change your own world around. So
Love that. What are some of the things you do to do that for yourself?
me, I try to live in the purpose that I'm going to create positive moments around me every day, no matter what I do or where I go. So I walk in this feeling that I'm going to walk into positive moments. I don't need to know what they are. I don't have to be afraid of them because I'm enough. That's real. Like that's a real thing. Like I'm enough for each moment I'm walking to right now. And the moment that I get to something that maybe seem a little more challenging, then I have to then build to get to that, to get over that. But like they're there. I'm not supposed to be ready for every single thing that's coming at me all the time. Especially
And it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel like, that's okay. That's human too. Like it's okay to like feel like overwhelmed. It's okay to like let it out, cry, feel frustrated, be mad, be angry. Don't sit in it forever, but like allow it to happen, allow it to pass, and then allow yourself to like move forward. Like
it's grace. You have to have grace for all of those moments. You're not supposed to, you just
forgive yourself.
My daughter's middle name is Grace, and I just
Aw.
the older I got, the more I realized like there's a reason. You start to learn how to give them grace, and then you start to give it to yourself in ways that you never have. So, start loving the world around you in different ways, and then you'll start to learn how to love yourself better sometimes. If you can't figure out how to start to love yourself, get a plant and start to feed that plant. Start to literally like get a Tamagotchi. I don't know. Like, are they think? No, I don't think that's a real thing anymore.
Get a chia pet.
Get a chia pet. Try to bring something to life. Nurture something that's a real thing.
That's a good thing. Journaling is a great thing too. If you feel like you can't find that space to like calm your mind, journaling is a great way to do that.
Flow. You need the flow.
Let it out. Definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of that, so I wrote something here, and I'll just read this. It just says the show up always leads to experience. Experience is XP, like in video games. It's a win. Experience is the algorithmic win always. So if you always choose experience over not having experience. So that's a lot more yeses than nos in life. It requires allowance and acceptance. So you have to allow for flow, and that will allow you to have the experience, and it has to happen in action and in movement. So when you do all of those things, and then you refuse to repress the flow. So anything that is hindering flow, and that is movement, you gotta refuse that. Just even if it feels a little uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, and growth is uncomfortable. Growth is undoing bad habits. Growth is instilling new habits, which that's literally sometimes it's so painful. And even recognizing the things you need to change and taking action to do them is totally two separate things. And that's where support groups can help. That's where
Accountability
partners,
friendships.
especially if you're dealing with addiction, you're dealing with there's so many kinds of addictions that you can be dealing with. It's not just about drugs. Some of it is about money. Some of it's about sex. Some of it's about, there's gambling. There's so many things you can be like struggling with. And if you have been consumed by addiction, I can say that like I've dealt with some people that are going through it, and I've never actually had, I don't think, an actual addiction because I've experienced watching other people that are really struggling with addiction, and I really pray for people like that because I think that once it has a hold of you, it is so hard to get away from it. And but there's so many support programs out there now, and um, I feel like this is a great place for people to start thinking about like what are my inner thoughts, like we talked about the other day
Right.
too. Like what is my inner voice saying?
What's your
And
relationship like with
yes,
yourself?
how do you see yourself? And how do you speak to yourself? Are you gentle? Are you graceful with yourself? Not just with others, not what you want other people to be to you. What are you to you? Definitely matters.
A lot of us talk to ourselves like our first bully, and our first bullies sometimes were our parents. And you have to kind of think that sometimes those voices that are rough on us in our heads came from somewhere. And you have to start talking to them and start letting them know that like I don't need to be talked to like that anymore. And sometimes it's letting yourself be places where somebody will talk to you kindly, and that requires movement. And so get out and take a walk. If you can't take a walk, find somebody who will drag your ass out. I don't know. I'm
Another thing that's great is like reading a good book. Like a good book is a nice escape from reality, but also can give you that mental space to really stop thinking about other things. Like I know a lot of people are physically not able to get up and go outside and go out in nature, and you can escape in your mind too, and meditation can help with that. There's a lot of things you can do that can help you escape mentally and take a break. So but yeah, I think this is a good space for people to come for questions too. So if you have questions about any of the stuff that we've been talking about, please feel free to comment below so we can talk about more, of the things that you want to hear about on the next episode, and give Bryan time to do some research on his end about how he wants to speak on those things.
I mean, I have a lot of things that I'd love to share and hear other people's views on them and try to talk through them. I want to be a space where people can be like, I'm going through this. What do you think of that? It's almost kind of like a Dear Abby. But I just want to be in the space to help people talk through challenging moments. Relational things are big right now. Like I really have such a heart for relating to people around me from all walks of life. Like I've grown up to be a person who has loved experiencing people from everywhere, and I'm kind of, everyone looks at me like I'm this international being, like nobody can place me like from where I am. And so as a child, and growing up, I had to kind of understand that I could be seen as a lot of different things, and so it helped me want to understand like how I can be perceived so that I'm not caught off guard when people come up on me and start to believe that I'm something I'm not. I don't know if that makes sense.
I've never had that problem. Everybody knows I'm a white redneck. Everybody's like, that girl definitely kills things with a bow and arrow and probably drives a truck. Oh, yep, there she is. It's the camo and the...
You're a show up lady, and like that.
I
that's
can't help
why I'm
myself.
here,
I can't help myself.
I believe in this show up, and like you ladies are showing up for the world. I love that that Shannon, who runs this, she's a show up person. She's the kind of people you want in your life, and so that's kind of why I'm here. I kept showing up and being present and wanting to build with these people, and I think we have to look into our respective worlds. And if you're struggling and you're struggling alone, start to see how, if you have the capacity, how you can start to support someone around you, even if it's just encouraging them. It's not financial. It's not like that. It's just presence and seeing others, witnessing people around you, and you'll start to see things change in your life.
Yeah, just small things like asking someone if they need help across the street, or offering to help somebody with something small. If you see it broken around their house, you think you could help them with it. I mean, I've done some random stuff that has been the most rewarding stuff in my life. And look at that. A little love from the goddess. Hey, How beautiful is that?
This is the world I
That's
want
what
to
we're
live
trying
in.
to bring to the
This is the
world.
world I want to live in.
So what can people expect on our next episode? Do you have any idea what you want to talk about for our next episode?
Oh, I don't off the top of my head.
No?
I put together like a first 5 episodes, but I don't have it committed to memory. It's in my phone somewhere. But
I thought it would be cool to talk about upcoming local like concerts, anything going on, comedy shows, anything that we can spread some joy and love and show people that there's, stuff to look forward to out there in the area that's going on, some downtown stuff happening.
There is a comedy show this coming Sunday at Cellar Door at 7 p.m. I can tell you that right now.
It's almost every Sunday, right?
It is every Sunday.
Does
at
Ryan
7.
still do that?
Ryan still does that.
Oh, I love you, Ryan.
And
Ryan was my neighbor. Like when I first moved to Frederick, he lived right next door to me. And before he was a big in comedy or anything, I'm talking like 18 years ago, I've known Ryan.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So he lived next door to me. He worked for Papa John's. He was a Papa John's pizza delivery guy.
All right.
And he was also my weed guy, which was great. So thanks, Ryan, for always hooking me up before it became legal. You were the man. And I'm just saying, like, Ryan and I go so far back. Like,
yeah, he's
him.
been handling it, and
I had appendicitis, and he literally came and helped me around my house, helped me with my kids. When my appendix burst, he was like there for me as a friend. He's such a good friend and such a good person, and I genuinely love him and his spirit. And he's like a testament to somebody that has not given up on his dream. And like he has always wanted to be big in comedy, and he believes in himself, and he has built this comedy, show, and he does this like, I don't know. He's been doing it for so long, like 20 years or something crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think the room that he's been running this show has been 14 years. So in the space or downtown Frederick, he's been in a couple
I used
places.
to go watch him before he started down there, like when he would do random shows. And I love him so much. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, but that's where I started doing comedy 4 years ago.
So cool. I love that.
In that room. And it's been...
I've probably seen you perform before because I've been down there for a lot of the comedy shows. But
yeah, I do. I've done the open mics there with Ryan. So
cool.
Good little place.
Yeah, I would encourage you to definitely come and get some laughs. There's some great comedians. Then Frederick has such a nice variety of local stuff like that you can do. Pop in here, Everything Frederick. Check out what they got in here.
Is going to be popping off soon. They got literary reads there and comedy there. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but
Thursdays live at 5 downtown on the water. You can get some free music if you don't go in, obviously. But if you pay, what is it, like $8 or something to get in, I think, and support the venue. There's local breweries there, food, drinks, all kinds of stuff.
That's a fun place to just
meet new people, get out, have a good time. Yep. Fresh air, don't care. Hey.
The one thing is if whatever you can do to not be alone for the majority of your time. And it doesn't mean that your alone time isn't important. You need to make that time too. But you have to be trying to find your way back towards a community. And the only way to do that is to start to realize that there can be safe spaces. If you don't have a safe space around you, start to build one. So, if you have the capacity, start to build a safe space around you.
I think we should make shirts that say, I don't know how to social distance. Social distancing no longer allowed in my life. Give me a hug.
I did.
Hug me.
I was downtown for 30 minutes the other day, and I got 6 hugs an hour. I was walking at 6 hugs an hour. So I got 3 hugs. I got a hug every 10 minutes.
I love that.
I took note of that. Like it was such a cool moment to see that I live in a world where these moments are being created in 30 minutes of time that I was like, you know what? It's a beautiful day. I'm going to take a walk. And I'm like, oh, there are people out here to hug me. I'm going to come out again.
Yeah.
I'm going to take another walk.
I'm going to do this again. That's how dogs feel. Imagine they're like, oh, I'm getting petted. Oh, I'm getting petted. I feel like that's what dogs feel like.
I didn't get petted, but I'm not against petting consensually.
Consensual petting. Well, workshop. On that note, this has been really fun. I think that, we're doing something beautiful. So until next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Bryan.
Thank you all.
Bye. This episode of Fridays with Bryan is brought to you by the Goddess Group and the home of Everything Frederick, right here at 401 East Market Street in downtown Frederick. Stop by and say hello.